Hello, and welcome to Brand Clarity by Visions2images, where we focus on strategy and business development for entrepreneurs at all different levels through branding and digital marketing techniques. Susie Liberatore is the founder and art director of Visions2images Creative Services, LLC. For the last decade, she has personally been instrumental in bridging gaps between the global digital market and neighborhood locations for some of the biggest brands around. Growth is possible for even a single location with the right professional branding techniques and Susie's signature strategies of Visions2images. Stand out from your competitors and bring your visions to life while watching your sales skyrocket. Your host for this is Susie Liberatore, owner of Visions2images. Hello, everybody. Today, I'm going to talk to you about Google My Business. Google My Business is such an important key factor for every business. It doesn't matter if you have a location or not. Google My Business is a huge component for your marketing, for customer journey, for everything. There's so many great components to Google My Business. And I always talk to people when I take them on as a client and say, how's your Google My Business? What can we improve on, right? Like there's all these fun and amazing things that you can do with Google My Business, actually. But what I really want to talk first about is I want to give you a little quick stat. 46% of all Google searches are looking for local information. And then 4 in 5 of those use search engines to find local information. So it is important for your SEO. But beyond that, where do you go? Just think about where you go every single day when you need to look up something. I'm not kidding you. Everybody does it, right? We go to Google, we go to Bing, we go to wherever we want to go, whatever search engine. But Google My Business will always kind of help populate that. So if you have a Google My Business page, you're obviously going to show up with your business over anybody else or with everybody else, right? But let's dive in so much deeper today. Google My Business is a place where there's business listings that give your business the opportunity to show up local. Now, again, if you're not local or you're e-commerce or whatnot, you still absolutely want to have a Google My Business page. I have a Google My Business page and we don't really technically have a location, but we still have it and we still do all of the regular things that we do for all of our local clients. Absolutely should have one. Okay, so whenever there's a Google search, there's usually a website, directions, save, and then there's Google reviews, and then there's more information such as address, open hours, phone number, suggest and edit, reviews from the web, etc., etc. So that's typically what people see when they see your Google My Business page first, right? So they are able to look at your website, they're able to get those directions, they're able to save it if they need to for later on. And there's the Google reviews that are so powerful. And then, of course, the address and the hours and the phone, because if somebody's on their phone or on their computer, they want to click to learn more, always and forever. That's the nature of the game. Whenever I'm looking for a business, I go to Google to find their address. If it's not, it's just easily accessible on Google My Business rather than going on their website, especially if I don't know the business too well. And it's important to identify like who you are, like there's different categories. So if you're a bar, if you're a restaurant, if you're a lawyer, like understanding those kinds of things can really help your Google My Business listing because it'll show up next to other people that are your competitors, but it gives them the opportunity to see all of the reviews and whatnot as well. So it kind of shows them, okay, this is based on location. Here's the closest one to you. Now let's dive in even more. So what are the benefits of Google My Business? Because it's not just for SEO and it's not just to have a Google My Business presence, right? It provides a whole host of benefits that any business needs in order to help increase their customers and their visibility, period. If you want to grow and show up online, this is probably the first step I always take with every single client. Your Google My Business page is basically like a Bible for your business online, because if you don't have it, you're just not going to get the traffic that you expected. And it grows over time each and every time. If you don't have a Google My Business page, you won't necessarily show up on the Google My Business maps, local parks. You risk basically having incorrect information and or not enough information, and you're missing out on sales and opportunities because this really helps you to stand out. Showing up with reviews online is so important. I don't know how many times I've gone onto any Google business page and looked at the reviews first and foremost. And so what I find interesting when I do a lot of stuff for my customers is I give them insights each month if they're a Google My Business client. And I look at the number of views on their profile, their posts, what people are searching for, the engagement, a profile of my audience, the number of website clicks, phone calls, and directions. And then from there, I can also see how many people viewed total for that month, for that week, whatever. So there's so much that I can see on the back end and they can see as well. And it really helps to just kind of break down and see the progress, right? We always want to see progress and see if it's helping and it's working. And we can do that in so many different ways. And this is just one of the great ways that I really kind of really enjoy helping customers. Now, when I dive into any Google My Business page from my clients database, I always make sure that all of their information is correct, meaning that they have their locations on, that they have their services highlighted just on the info page itself. So if you're on Google My Business page and you look at the info, you can add service area, Sunday through Saturday hours, closed on special days, your website, appointment links, products, and then all of the services that you might offer, and then add photos. So that's just under the info tab. And then you can look under the insights. And insights, you can see so much. Like you can see the total actions, the total views, all of the searches, like I just said. And then you can even look at what others are doing compared to you and see how you're doing compared to them. Hey, let's stop for just 1 second during this podcast episode. I know you're so excited to get back and listen, but I wanted to chat with you and talk about how we really work with businesses. What we really do is we dive in and we ask so many questions. We go through a series of questionnaires and extensive research to really help you get a clear, identifiable plan of action that needs to happen for your business. If you want to hear more about this, go to Visions2images.com, click the contact us button, and we will be happy to set up a time to chat more. The other thing that I think is really neat, we talked about the reviews, is you can sit there and you can have these reviews and you can reply to those as well, just so that customers can see, oh, they're interactive and they're engaging with their audience. It doesn't matter if it's a good review or a bad review, like just those good reviews matter, and everything matters to the audience if they're searching. A lot of times also, I will say, go ahead and create their Google My Business website. Now, this isn't going to replace your website by any means, so please do not get scared of that. So what it kind of does is it just adds in those extra cookies and bonus points where you have that additional website, and it's just another way for SEO to gain some traffic. And what they post is basically all of the stuff that is on your page. What I want to dive into are two more things. So if you go under services, you can literally add in all of your services and add about information. Now, this is just so helpful for search engine optimization, SEO. This is helpful for people when they're searching for you. If they want to look quick and easy, they can sit there and say, oh, they do XYZ, and I can see what they do. You don't have to put any prices on it. You don't have to do anything like that. You just write the services, and you could go as in depth as you want to go. But like I said, the more you kind of write about things, the better off you're going to be for the search engine in the long run. If you are e-commerce, you can add products here as well. It's so easy to connect your e-commerce and your products. You don't have to literally do it manually. There's a bunch of plugins and there's a bunch of ways to do it. So definitely, if you are e-commerce, check that out. That's pretty awesome. And I would highly recommend looking into it. And if you need support and assistance, feel free to reach out. The one more thing is you can turn messaging on with Google. That's just, if you want to turn messaging on for Google, it's one added step, right? Do you want to have those messages on, or do you just want messaging on your website, or you just want them to always email you? It depends on if you have somebody that can support that at all times or not, right? But there's that option as well. Now, my favorite thing about Google My Business is that you can go to post. When you're in Google My Business, you can see post. What I always do for all of my clients is I always post similar stuff to what I post on their social media. And then I can add a call to action, like learn more, call now. And we could see if there is people viewing it and clicking through, and right next to it, they can even share the post, right? So it's just another added social platform. And again, with a post, you can add a specific offer. So if you want to do 20% off of a manicure, you can literally add that in. You add in the start date, the end date, add in an image, boom, hit publish. And they could say, oh, I found it on Google. And then you can even add in an event. So if you're having an event and you want to show up just beyond Facebook events, you can add it on here. So when it shows up in Google, people will see it as well. And it'll show up on your Google My Business page. And if you are e-commerce, you can also add your product under post. So you can do something specific for those products and not have to always reinvent the wheel. So Google My Business, in a quick, easy summary, is just another way to reach your audience, whether it's for SEO or if it's just for visibility and local awareness. There's so many great factors to it. And I highly recommend every single business has it. Like I said, I don't have a location, but I have a Google My Business and it's active and it's always going. E-commerce, I know I have an interior designer and she has a specific location, but she also does some e-commerce stuff. So we were able to transpire both that. And then e-commerce, I've worked with e-commerce in the past and now. Again, it's the same idea where we can use e-commerce to our advantage on Google My Business, even though I might not have a specific location or want somebody to come to that location, right? You can totally hide any location on Google My Business, period. But you can still have a Google My Business no matter what. So I want to make sure that's loud and clear because I've had people tell me before, well, or somebody or Google told me I can't have a Google My Business page if I don't have an address. Incorrect. That is not true. I am one that is experiencing that. I don't have a location, like I said, many, many times in this episode, and I have a Google My Business presence, period. So there's always so much kind of myths going around. And I just wanted to make these clear and let you guys kind of understand Google My Business is such a powerful, powerful tool. And actually, I forgot one more thing that I was going to say about Google My Business because it is so powerful. You can add photos, of course. So if you go to the sidebar, there's add photos. And a lot of times what I do is I switch up the photos. And I mean, I don't delete any, but I add in at least 3 to 4 photos a month, depending on the client, where they are able to have those photos and they show up and they populate on Google quicker and easier. And let me tell you, I have one image that has reached over 17,000 people. 17,000. I have one image that's reached over 1,500. I have a few that's reached over 5,000. So those powerful images really matter. Now, some of them are a little bit lower, like 71 and 52. But the ones that are the big ones, I look for a lot and I say, why did this one get so much views and this one didn't? We want to get more views like this one. So let's do something similar. So it's understanding the science behind why the certain images worked and certain ones didn't, right? It's understanding that if you keep posting and you keep adding new photos, it's going to show up fresh and new in Google's eyes. So that's a powerful tool that I use for all of my clients as well. So I hope this was extremely helpful for you. I gave you so many free nugget advice here that I usually only give to my paying clients. So I hope that you are able to take a lot from it and run with it. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out as always. Thank you for listening in on this episode today. Please make sure to check out the links from your guest and Visions to Images to learn more about each other. It takes a village, as you know, so connect and grow with one another together. Thank you so much for listening.